All right, guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Mail Stand. Now, if you are a regular viewer and you've seen the Mail Stand before, look at the pinned comment under this video and there'll be a timestamp that you can click on that will take you to the start of this video. If you're new to the channel, you need to watch this introduction at least once to explain things a little bit. So basically, the Mail Stand is a feature where I read out emails that I have received, right? And those emails could be from people that I know personally. It could be someone I've known almost 30 years from doing Cop Talk. It could be someone that I know works for the club. It could be a complete stranger that I've never met, don't know them from Adam or anything like that, right? Sorry, I'm just trying to cover something up with my finger that I'm going to show you in a minute. And when I read an email to you, I want you to take it with a huge pinch of salt, right? I could be reading an email to you and thinking, what a load of fucking drivel, like as if anyone's going to believe that. Or I could be thinking, I wish I could tell them where this email's come from. It's a bit of fun. It's just for you to get a feel of the idea of the things that that are coming to me in the background, and might be a load of shite, might be interesting. Who knows? Everybody has said they like this feature. However, some numpty today said, oh my God, you're just making this up. You'll be losing viewers. Like I'm going to lose fucking viewers. Why would I make it up? What benefit do I get from making it up? One of the guys that contributes to the Mail Stand is a channel member on this channel that frequently joins in the live streams and discusses the emails he's sent in. Is he made up as well? Is he? So I'm going to make up emails from a week ago, whatever it was, because I was catching up today, and tell you something. What is wrong with these absolute morons, guys? Well, I've got rid of them. He won't be able to comment again. Now, for example, I read an email out earlier today, and I just want to cover it a little bit here. I'm going to show you the email that I received. I don't know if you can see this, but I don't want to show his name or anything. Right, so there's the email that I received today. And if you look below, there's my response, okay, at 2 o'clock today. Yeah, so I suppose I sent that email to myself. There's the exact email I read to you. Underneath is my response. I'm just covering his name because I say, hey, whoever sent it, I touched on this today, smiley face, just so they know I've gone over it, right? But I'll just show you the top part, look there, yeah? But apparently, I craft these emails and write them to myself. Can you believe? 50 years of age, not 15. Fucking morons, man. They do my head in. He won't be commenting again on here. Right, so this email is going to be a little bit different because usually, I like to read the ones out to you, where people are making various claims and whatnot. This one was one that was sent to me regarding Robbie Keane. He's been commenting about Ekitike. And I get a lot of these sent to me, from agencies and PR, where they're trying to promote something. Usually, like a former player or someone with a connection to Liverpool, or they might be talking about someone at Liverpool. They would want a Liverpool site to publish it and to give them promotion. So basically, this just says, hey, how you doing? Hope you well. Just reaching out with some Robbie Keane quotes that might be of interest. We spoke with him earlier this week and got his reaction on Spurs and Liverpool, with Robbie saying basically the 3 bullet points here: unplayable, Ekitike, the best out of the summer striker signings. Keane knew Ekitike would be the Prem's next big star, and he can do well, even if Isak is signed. And then he also says Liverpool to win the Prem again with Spurs and Chelsea battling for 4th. I've included the quotes at the bottom of this email for you. And it does link to Betway, so you can see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to get that Betway link in as many articles as possible. Not for you necessarily to click on it to go and bet at Betway, but the more links that they have to Betway on Google, the higher up the search rankings they go. So they look especially for established websites that have been around 27 years, for example, because the older the domain name, the more weight and strength Google will give it. So when you see these articles and it says Robbie Keane was talking to Betway, it's not really for you to click and go and bet with them. Of course they want that. It's about getting as many websites as possible to include what is called that backlink, right? And then Google says, oh, that must be important because that's everywhere. And it lifts it up the rankings. This is what this is about. And it says here, please feel free to use the coverage in anything you have going out this week. And if anything is used, it would be much appreciated if you could credit Betway with a link to the above blog. Now, normally, smaller companies, that they will pay you to do that. These are big companies. And if you've got someone that's maybe just started a blog, which might not be too attractive because they really want the older domain names, but it's still a backlink wherever it is, right? Then, if they get some quotes from a player, they can say, oh, I was sent these quotes. It makes them sound important. I know that this person here that sent this email to me should be paying me for this backlink. You know what I mean? So I'm not daft, I'm experienced. Now, there's another important reason that I'm going to go over this with you, or I'm trying to explain all this to you, is when a footballer writes for a betting site or gives quotes, how does he get repeat work with that company, do you think? The more traffic, the more backlinks that are published, right? So if you're getting, say, I don't know, 100 quid, 200 quid, 300 quid, whatever, 500 quid from a betting company for your comments, what do you want? Do you want to do it once for that company? Or do you want to do it 5 times, 10 times? You want 5 times or 10 times because you want more longer, right? So how do you do that? By being controversial or saying things that are transfer worthy, right? That might not be the case with this, but you've always got to be suspicious of them. So when you see a former Liverpool player saying Liverpool will sign Isak or similar, right? Look to see if it says we're speaking to, like a betting site. Because if it's a betting site, there's an incentive there for them maybe to exaggerate a little bit. Now, the thing is, a lot of fans, maybe younger fans, or certainly people that don't watch my YouTube channel or follow Cot Talk at all, they might think that a former Liverpool player, maybe not Robbie Keane, but one of the big legends, is still in the loop. So if they read, John Barnes saying, well, I think this is going to happen with, not Ekitike, with Isak, you might get some young fans go, well, he must know because he'll still be connected. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be careful. So whenever you see a former player giving commentary, transfer opinions, always think, are they doing that because they want some more? Do you know what I mean? Right? I'm not saying they lie, but they might exaggerate or make it sound more exciting. Right? It's all about, for the company that they're talking to, it's about the backlinks. Right? For the person with the quotes, in this case, Robbie Keane, it's about getting additional revenue. And you don't just want one job, you want to get another one off them, right? But we don't know if he's saying anything that's controversial. I'm just telling you what to look out for in the future. So basically, he said the Premier League season is almost here, and I'm really excited for it to get underway. Almost here. So when did I receive this? 6 days ago. See, I'm catching up. I guess I wrote this one to myself as well. Plenty of teams look to have improved over the summer, but I think you have to say that Liverpool have had the most impressive transfer window. The players they've signed are brilliant. Florian Wirtz is a really clever number 10, and my team played against Hugo Ekitike last year when he was at Frankfurt. After the game, I said to the guys, he will be the next big thing and will go to England. He was just unplayable at times. Whether he plays as Liverpool's number 9, I'm not sure, as he can also fill in on the left now that Luis Diaz has gone to Bayern. If Liverpool do sign Alexander Isak from Newcastle, then Ekitike will definitely play on the left more. He's got Alexander Isak into the article, right? So that's going to, drive clicks and stuff. It's going to come up on search engines, right? But I still think it's fair that what he's saying. I don't think there's any motive here at the moment. He can do both, though. He's a very good player, quick and technically very, very good. There will be comparisons drawn between the strikers that the big clubs have signed this summer. And he goes on to talk about all the other ones that have been, on the move and the stuff that Arsenal have done and that. João Pedro is one here. He's also a good signing for Chelsea, and he's done well over the summer. But at the moment, I'd say Liverpool probably got the best one. Excuse me. Which is interesting because when we were linked with these number of strikers, including Benjamin Sesko as well, Ekitike was the one that got the least enthusiasm from the comments on my videos. Do you know that? Even on the members website, on the VIP members website, shout out to my VIP members. Ekitike was the one that people were least excited about. Interesting, isn't it? Because he's come in and everyone's like, fuck me, he's brilliant. Anyway, So he goes on to his Premier League predictions. I think Liverpool will win the Premier League with Arsenal second and Man City third. If Tottenham sign a couple more players, I think they've got a good chance of claiming fourth spot. I think it's between them and Chelsea. The Golden Boot looks tough to predict with so many big name strikers in the Premier League this year. But I'm going to go with Erling Haaland. Mo Salah was unplayable last year, but I think Haaland just looks fit and ready to go this season. If Isak goes to Liverpool, he certainly could be up there as well. So I am going to say that he was speaking to who? Who was it, guys? Betway.com. But unfortunately, there's going to be no link. There's no backlink. If you want a backlink on my website, you're going to pay me for it. But that's basically what he said. Now, in fairness, there's nothing in this article that I think is clickbaity or sensational, so you could argue that maybe if someone's got a regular gig with a betting company to provide opinion over a season, maybe they don't need to do that, right? I don't think Robbie Keane said anything sensational here. But if it was a one-off, you might get a player that exaggerates a little bit, doesn't lie, but, I've heard, I was talking to some, my former teammates, and they were saying, because it creates buzz, it creates traffic, and the company, the PR companies behind it, not sure that this is I don't think this is a PR company. I think this has come directly from the Betway group. I'm not sure, but if they see a lot of traction and a lot of websites picking up the quotes, then they're going to publish them. So, for example, I know like the likes of the Liverpool Echo will publish those quotes. They probably already have, right? And a lot of other websites as well, because it gives them content. And that gives them more adverts to put around it. And that would apply if I put them on my own website, coptalk.com, right? But I'm not going to do that, right? But I know that they do that. And what incentive is there for those websites to publish the quotes? Which quotes are they going to publish? They're always going to publish the ones that are more exciting. So if that had been about like Isak entirely, I guarantee more people would publish them. So that's maybe a bit obvious. But if you're a former player and you're saying, I was speaking to the lads at the golf at the weekend, and the lads can be, it's not very discreet, it's not saying who it is, whether it's existing players or former players. Just I started speaking to the lads, and they think that Liverpool are looking at such and such. These websites are going to publish them. What does that mean? More backlinks to the betting company, which means more money for the person that's making those claims. Does that make sense? I'm not patronising you. I'm just trying to explain to you what they do. And like I say, I have been around these parts a long time, and I know that companies will pay to have those backlinks, right? But if you're the Liverpool Echo, you're probably not bothered about that, because you can think, well, I'm going to put them on the website, and Reach PLC are going to be like, well, we're getting more traffic, we're getting more advertising revenue anyway. If I put those quotes on my website, then yeah, it's going to generate advertising revenue, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm not going to do that. And if they were more sensationalist quotes, then obviously your revenue is going to be tenfold. It's going to be much higher, right? But I'm sure that most Liverpool fans probably aren't interested in what Robbie Keane's got to say anyway, and that's not because he's not liked or anything, but it's not a John Barnes or an Ian Rush or a Kenny Dalglish, do you know what I mean, or a Steven Gerrard. And also it's about, what would the headline be if you were writing that? The headline there, unless you're going to be clickbaity, is going to be, former Liverpool star, or if you don't want to name him, that might lure people in, that's clickbaity. Or you could just put Robbie Keane, bigs up Ekitike, he's unplayable. Robbie Keane, Ekitike, unplayable. I'm not sure a lot of people are going to click on that though, do you know what I mean? So anyway, I think I've touched on it. So I wanted to show you, again, this is the kind of emails that I receive. I receive a lot of these. And I think they're interesting because it gives me an opportunity just to explain to you how it works, because most people think a link to a betting site is just to try and get you to place bets, but there's no betting affiliation link in there. This is about backlinks, and the more backlinks you have to your website, the more trusted Google sees you as. So they'll lift you up the rankings. If you've got a blog or a Liverpool website that you've just started doing as a fan, it's important for you to be linking with the big sites where possible. So you would want a link to CopTalk, because CopTalk's been on the go since the 1990s, right? So that would help your site go up the rankings, But also if you're a young blogger or something, and these companies reach out to you say, yeah, I'll give you a backlink, but I want 100 quid for it. Because I'm not saying this particular outfit, but these companies will prey on, people that are maybe not experienced. And you'll also get people saying to you, hey, I'm a budding new journalist. I want to be a writer, a football writer. Would you publish this article for me? And you might think, because you're a nice person, oh, I'd like to help that person. It gives a little bit of content for my website. But then they publish this article, but really it's promoting someone and they're denying you. And they're probably being paid for it themselves, So I would always say, like, yeah, I'm happy to publish, any work of yours that you'd like to do if it fits in with my content style. It's got to be, on point. It's got to be about Liverpool, for example. But check that fucker for links, all right? Do you know what I mean? And often they try to get 3 links in. It'll get more deeper to explain this to you. I don't think you need to know that. So my message to you is always be cautious when you see a former player making bold claims. Don't assume that they're in the know. Look and see who they're speaking to, and I bet you every single time it's a betting company. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that with you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're the person that left that ridiculous comment saying you're just making up emails, have a word with yourself. Not everyone's a lying cunt. Do you know what I mean? Like, what benefit does anyone get from that? These people that have been on my channel for years support me and trust me, right? And stuff like that really pisses me off. It shows you how thick you are. It really does. My peoples know the score. They know I'll read the emails to them. And I stress in every single email, take it with a pinch of salt. I ain't got time for people like that. Get the fuck off my channel. The rest of you, you'll do fine. Please thumbs up my video, because I can guarantee you that numpty will be trying to thumbs it down. Drop me a comment, guys, if you found the video helpful at all right? And if you want to buy me a beer or a coffee, there's a love art under the video called a super thanks. I'm super and I deserve thanks. All right.